Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, non-binary pals, and the technicolor rainbow in between, this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Boingo Rider Gaston, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner.
Hi, I'm back.
I couldn't say it better myself. Oh boy. So, how was your week in wrestling?
I mean, it was okay.
Yeah.
Keyword being was.
Oh, yeah. I think we should just rip the Band-Aid off and start talking about it. Today was a black day for wrestling employment, so to speak. And see, here's the thing. I thought we were going to do this whole big bit where the entire episode, we weren't going to talk about it, talk about them in any way whatsoever, and at the end we go, oh shit, we forgot. So WWE had their biggest show of the year.
WrestleMania. I'm not even gonna hide it. I did cave. I did watch the first I want to say hour of this show. Just out of pure curiosity for what the crowd reaction was gonna be like. And then I ended up spending most of the bit of it that I watched laughing my ass off at the rain delays.
Oh, we'll bring that back up in just a second.
Yeah, and also just enjoying the rain delays because it led to them doing a bunch of unscripted promos to stall for time. And it's like, wow, this is probably the first and last time in a long time that there's unscripted promos on a major WWE show.
Yeah, I didn't watch any WrestleMania. I've seen pics. I've seen the one video clip that I think is necessary YouTube watching now, where Logan Paul gets stunnered.
I didn't watch that. That was night 2. I didn't watch any night 2. I watched up until the end of the Drew and Bobby match.
I posted the clip on the wrestling board on my Discord server. So, but it's literally he just gets stunnered by Kevin Owens, and that's fun.
Sick. I did also, I saw a bunch of like GIFs. I haven't actually sat down and watched it, but I did see a bunch of GIFs and stuff out of the Bad Bunny match, and that looks like it was incredible for the expectations everybody had for it.
Yeah, and apparently he signed now, so.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, fucking respect to the dude.
Yeah. And well, I haven't watched it. I'm probably not going to, but like seeing the few screen caps I did and hearing all the recaps I have of the Bray Wyatt match made me so sad.
Is it? Oh.
It was borderline a squash match in Randy Orton's favor. Also, Alexa Bliss is apparently spun off into her own character now. Her and Bray had their own segments on Raw, and they might be feuding now. Also, Alexa has her own puppet now. It's not great. It's bad. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. They've ruined the Fiend. There's no way you can rebuild the character. Like there might have been a little way you could have salvaged this Orton feud if you had a Firefly Funhouse match at Mania, but with everything they've done to him during the Orton feud and the direction they're going in now, I'm just like, there's no point in watching for this character or hoping they'll figure out this character again.
Yeah. There was definitely a shark underneath that ring, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, unsurprisingly, because WWE normally does this every year, we just didn't think they'd be this callous again. Normally, after WrestleMania, they let go of people that they go, you know what, we don't have anything for you. You're kind of dead weight. We don't see any purpose for you being here.
But it's normally 1 or 2.
Yeah. This was like 10. I
Yeah,
didn't make an
let
official
me just
count.
go ahead and count here. One, oh, no, I remember because I saw it was a trending topic on Twitter. 11 people.
Oof. And here's the thing: we're still in the tail end of this pandemic.
Mhm.
They didn't do this last year.
Things will probably be all opened up again by August, but like this is a straight repeat of Black Wednesday, a year to the day after Black Wednesday.
Right. So let's go with
And let me just before we actually go into the list, let me just let everybody know the amazing way I found out about this. So I was trying to finish this job that I kept getting pulled off of to do other things at work all day. And this is like the fifth time I've been pulled off of it and gone to get back on it. And I get like one little bit of it done, and then all of a sudden my bladder just hits me like a ton of bricks, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, I sit down and take a shit, I open up Twitter. My entire timeline is on fire. And that's when I sent the first few tweets to your wrestling chat.
yeah.
Um, I then went to talk to my boss and the guy who replaced me at my old job, which is next door to my current job. And they were both just like, what the, how, what, huh? And echoed some of the sentiments I think we're about to go into.
So I think we should go backwards because you did put the most surprising ones first. So let's go
Mhm.
backwards. Tucker, I can understand it. They saw more value in Dozovich.
Yeah, they broke up heavy machinery only to take the take the briefcase away from Otis and then do almost nothing with him. He's in a new tag team with what's his face, the Olympic gold medalist.
Chad Gable.
Yeah. And that's apparently going nowhere. I haven't heard anything about it in a couple weeks. But Tucker just disappeared. He had a heel gimmick for a little bit, and now he's just gone. They released him, and his reaction was on Twitter. He tweeted he cannot wait to tell his story. So I hope we get a very fiery interview out of him because I
Yeah.
feel like he's kind of owed it.
Yeah. Especially because of the what they gave him character wise. They gave him nothing.
Hmm. And like, if you go back and watch some of those early NXT promos with him and Otis, him being the straight man is what makes Otis's insane wackiness work as a gimmick.
He was David Spade to Otis's Chris Farley.
Better, he was Alex Reynolds to John Silver.
It's very similar setup, and everybody loves Alex Reynolds and John Silver.
Mhm.
I
Imagine,
I
ima-
contend that Alex Reynolds, low key, is the only reason John Silver is over as he is because he is such a simple character that John can bounce off of.
yeah, he just stands there and goes, "Yeah, okay, John. All right, that does make sense. All right, okay, I guess we're doing that."
It also doesn't hurt that he reminds me of Trent Reznor from early Nine Inch Nails.
That's true. Have you seen their new shirt, Hungy and Handsome?
I can dig it. I can dig that. I
Yeah.
can dig that tagline for them. But yeah, no. Again, it's the same story we say about a lot of different wrestlers in WWE. They had a lot of potential. There's a lot of things you can do with them. They got mismanaged. The
Yeah.
next one, I think, the next one it doesn't seem too unreasonable why it happened due to the fact that her husband also was released, Chelsea Green.
But it does because
I mean,
they've set no. Let
from
me
a
finish. They've
WWE
set her
management,
up.
yeah.
They have set her up multiple times for big pushes. They put her next to Charlotte. They clearly saw something in her to the point of where she is still scheduled to have her first WWE action figure come out this summer based on the match where she got that wrist injury. We haven't even seen in-hand photos of it yet. It's still a render. And Mattel's not going to cancel it because they don't cancel stuff unless it's flat out a big break like something like Sting. They were able to get the Cardona and Myers figures out with that Edgehead Spang. This is still coming out. And like, same thing with Mike Bennett or Mike Kanellis, as he was known in WWE. He had a figure coming out came out literally a month after he was released.
Yeah.
Chelsea's is probably going to be a little longer, but it is just mind-boggling to me that they're releasing her when they were starting to put so many assets into her, for lack of a better term. And now she's back on the indies, and she's already selling hot mess T-shirts again. Good for her. I hope she shows up at.
Impact.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rebellion, but that's like in 2 weeks, so she won't be there. Because hey, everybody, mark your calendars. July 14th, gonna be a hell of a Wednesday.
Oh, very much so. But I definitely see her going back to Impact because was an Impact. Her husband's currently in Impact. It makes a lot of sense. It's a more comfortable place, and I can just see that happening.
By the way, just to fact check you before the comments do, fiance.
Fiance,
They were supposed to get married last year, and they had to cancel it due to the pandemic.
right? They're married in spirit.
Yeah, they're probably common law married at this point. They've been living together for like 3 or 4 years.
I think it takes like 7 for that.
Oh, okay.
At least maybe, I don't know. It may be different. I haven't looked it up. Then there's Wesley Blake. I don't remember this person.
He is one of the Forgotten Sons.
Oh.
Not the racist one.
Right, not the racist one, who's the leader and currently on the main roster, apparently.
They're still trying to come up with a new gimmick for him. Whereas this guy, they threw him with Baron Corbin for like 2 weeks, and then they were like, "Oh, this isn't working. Go back to catering." Okay, you're fired. Like, I don't even think this guy was in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal the Jumble Tumble.
Yep. I don't remember much about him.
I don't remember much about him either, but I was one of the 5 people who actually liked the Forgotten Sons before we found out one of them was a racist.
Also cute. No, also a COVID denier.
Oh yeah. And like, I don't know. I really feel for this guy because he basically got screwed because a guy who he was just put together with turned out to be not popular on social media, to put it in WWE terms.
Right. Next one's Bo Dallas. I can understand why he's released. He hasn't been doing things. He hasn't been on TV for like a year, has he?
Like, here's the thing with Bo. It's kind of a slap in the face, but from a fan's perspective, it's like you were expecting this because according to backstage sources, he was actually in the process of getting ready to retire. Like he was gonna just he had like literally had talks with Vince and people about like, I want to do some producing and whatnot, but when my contract's up, I think I'm just gonna retire and go do something else with my life. Which, okay, fine. If you're ending your career on your own terms, that's great. But then WWE turning around and doing that to him, like, ugh. I would never come back to go in the Hall of Fame if I was him.
And he's probably not gonna, even though he's the first NXT champion.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of insane. Like, he's Bray Wyatt's brother. They're both the sons of IRS, and like he had a gimmick that people really liked in the Bo Leave gimmick. Like you said, he was the first NXT champion. And here's something crazy. Here's another like, wow, Vax got weird opinions moment. I think I'm one of the only people who actually really enjoyed the B team. I thought it was a great tag team, and I never understood why they just dropped it, except for Vince doesn't like tag teams.
B Team could have been WWE's answer to Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends.
Yeah,
legitimately, they could have. They had that similar,
and it would have been a couple years before AEW.
Exactly, but now AEW has the Best Friends and an Alien, showing that slacker goofballs fucking work and can be seen as a legitimate threat. But hey, he wants to go do something else. Fair enough. Like, yeah. I hold ill nil.
He's the only one in this group I don't expect to see anywhere else.
Right. Next one, Kalisto. The fuck, guys.
Like, Kalisto, is he the leader or is he just one of the guys in Lucha House Party?
I think Lucha House Party was a anarcho-syndicist faction.
But the thing is, like, that was their big, hey, we're not racist. We like Mexicans. Look, Mexicans, you like WWE, right? Give us your money faction. That's what he was like one of the main figureheads in that. He's the good lucha things guy.
He is the good Lucha Things guy. You want to know why they're releasing him? Because he wasn't their new Rey Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
And now they got Rey Mysterio back. They go like, I don't want to play with you anymore.
They have Rey Mysterio's son. They can get like 50 years out of that kid.
Oh yeah, and they still have Lince Dorado and the other one, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, they weren't let go.
They weren't let go, but that's also because I think they broke out into their own characters.
Mm-hmm.
Kalisto was always kind of fitted to be new Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, and Lince Dorado is the guy who's been doing a lot of Power Rangers themed gear, and has gotten over on social media because of that. Although that might spell disaster for him, knowing the past peoples. Um, but yeah, sucks to be Kalisto, man. Like, and it just kind of confirms what Andrade has been saying since his release.
Yep. I definitely feel like I'm not sure if he's gonna pop it. I can see him popping in for a cup of coffee in AEW. I definitely see him.
Couple dark matches, maybe
Yeah.
like a segment with the Lucha Brothers.
Maybe he goes to AAA or CMLL. I don't remember which one was his home promotion before WWE.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely see him going back down to Mexico, shining up his name, and maybe striking out in other territories. New Japan, maybe more AEW, maybe Impact.
I could see him fitting in pretty well at Impact, honestly.
Yeah, but I can definitely see him more going to Mexico first to basically fix his name.
Yeah.
Go back to your hometown where everybody loves you, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, really surprising. Mickie James.
Women's legend. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure she's a Hall of Famer. She is probably, I would expect, a major asset backstage to their women's division. Huge learning tree. Probably on the same level that Natalia is these days. And she's like she's an idol and an icon to a lot of women's wrestlers because she's an older woman with a young child who's still going out and working her ass off every week. And WWE just fired her because you don't work as Alexa Bliss's sidekick anymore, so we don't have anything for you to do on TV. Because that's the last thing I remember her doing on TV, aside from like a few battle royals.
Yep. I don't know. It is a dropped ball on her part. Especially considering like how much women's wrestling is becoming a major focus. It's always been a focus since around the time people were telling WWE, "Hey, stop booking your women like dipshits," and WWE went like, "Hey, look, we stopped booking our women like dipshits. Aren't we great?"
Look, it's the Four Horsewomen, everybody.
Cool.
Not
Who
trying
else?
to dunk on them, but like,
Who else you got? You want
and like,
more?
I know a lot of people are probably expecting Mickey to go to AEW because they'll want her as a learning tree, but like, her husband is the NWA champion. I would be very surprised if she doesn't just go straight there.
I can definitely see her popping up in AEW, a la Thunder Rosa, a la the NWA Women's Champion Sadie Gibbs.
So, Serena Deeb
Serena
is
Deeb.
the NWA Women's Champion.
I had a vague recollection of the name and I almost got it. Didn't, but
It's okay, buddy. That's why you got me.
but yeah, no, like it is the equivalent of like it is the women's equivalent of like releasing Sting, of releasing Dustin Rhodes, of releasing a legend that has like power, understanding, veteran abilities behind them who can lead younger people into better matches. And Mickie James, the women's version of Christian.
To go off of the last round of releases, it's also kind of like when they released Mike Chioda. I was listening to an interview with him the other day. That guy has such a wealth of knowledge and passion for the business and respect for the people before him and a want to train people coming in after him. Like, I was in shock and awe that WWE had released him all over again, listening to that interview. It was the Chris Van Vliet interview, if anybody wants to go find it. But like, yeah, I cannot believe they let Mickey go. I would straight up change her contract to be she's just a producer before I would let her go if
Yeah.
I was WWE. And let's go ahead and start getting into this now. Reports came out that John Laurinaitis, because he's the head of talent relations right now, because that's a great fucking idea. He was the one making the phone calls, and the reason he kept citing to everyone budget cuts. Yeah, budget cuts right after the Peacock deal went through.
Oh, they're not even hiding how much is just for profit now.
Yeah.
They're just not. All right, now we're getting into the ones that hurt, the ones that really hurt.
Like, I got a little mad over the Chelsea Green one. These next two legitimately pissed me off. Yeah. Sorry, I was counting one as a whole group.
I know, but like the next one is the Australian darlings, Peyton Royce, and I can't remember the other one's name right now.
Billy Kay.
Billy Kay and Peyton Royce.
And Billy was announced first because in WWE's kayfabe right now, they're split up. Billy was off doing a comedy thing, and Peyton was. It's Peyton. That's my understanding of the situation. But they announced Billy in the same round as Mickey James and someone else, and then Peyton was one of the last two announced, and she was announced on her own. Like they went, oh shit, that's right. There's another one. Get rid of her.
Yeah, no. These are two of the best women talkers in all of the business.
Mm-hmm.
Their
backstage promos are so amazing, dude.
Their backstage ad-lib promos, which always got posted to WWE.com, were fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They're women wrestling dank pods.
Yeah.
That just must be Aussie humor, but like, thinking about their promos and thinking about our new favorite YouTuber dank pods, it has that same sort of chaos vibe.
And I don't know if you've seen Peyton Royce recently, but she entered a bodybuilding competition a few months ago. And if you've seen the pictures out of that, I don't think you disagree with me in saying that it is not hyperbole to say she's white Jade Cargill.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know how Vince would look at that and say, oh, we can't do anything with that.
It's because she's brunette.
No, she was dyeing her hair blonde during that, too.
Then Vince must have just went, she has a funny voice. Don't like it.
I can't understand this foreign person, but no. Here's the good thing. They do have a direct line to AEW because Peyton Royce is married to Sean Spears, and they hang out with Billy Kay all the damn time. Like Peyton Royce I don't know if she still has because I found out about this pre the whole no third party thing, but at one point she did have a YouTube channel that her and Peyton Royce were on all the time, and occasionally they drag in Sean Spears just because it's funny, my husband's here. So I am very much expecting them to go straight to AEW on July 14th, of course. And you know what? I'll just say it. Throw them right in the Pinnacle. I think they would make a great addition to the Pinnacle.
That'd be fun, but like, I definitely want them in AEW because they are, again, two of the best women promos in all of the business. And just imagine the promo between them and Britt Baker.
Yes.
Or Thunder Rosa.
Ooh.
are reacting to Chris Statlander. Abaddon.
Oh, dude, them like making fun of oh, how did I just forget her name? Wrestling Supergirl.
Layla Hirsch.
Yeah, imagine them like trying to make fun of Layla Hirsch, and then she just keeps punching them in the face and walking away.
This
That is a reoccurring joke on Dark for a few weeks.
them versus Anna Jay and Tay Conte. Anna, don't fuck with her Jay. Like that'd be fun. No, like I can, like I want to see them there because a they're good in the ring. They're at least solid. Oh,
Like
they're
they've
great on the
got
mic.
they've got 20-ish years of experience in the industry each. They've always been, except for the last year, they've always been together. Imagine how much they could teach that locker room.
Oh yeah, and it would probably be beneficial to have more veteran women in the women's division to just kind of boost experience. Because like yeah, for as much as Dustin loves the women's division and loves teaching them and loves all that, he can't wrestle a match with them and
Yeah.
help them through that process. You know what I mean?
And he can't relate to every single thing and concern and worry they might have because Dustin's like a 50 going on 60-year-old white dude.
From the South.
And like we love him. We love Dustin. He's remarkably progressive for the kind of background he has.
I love when he just
But
fucking dunks on transphobes.
yeah.
Because one of their kids, one of Dustin's kids is trans.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Stepkids, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's been married a couple times, hasn't he?
Yep. But Stepkids is trans, and he goes, and Dustin just goes like, "No, fuck you, my kid's great." Whenever a transphobe starts talking, it's just like it's hilarious. It's the best, especially when you remember.
Which
he was
reminds
Goldust.
me, I'm very pissed off at your state today, sir.
What did my state do? I wasn't paying attention.
I'll tell you after the broadcast.
Is it Arkansas bad? Is it Arkansas bad?
It's worse.
God damn it. Is the only redeemable thing in Florida fucking Disney?
You think Disney's redeemable?
Disney World.
You think Disney World is redeemable?
The popcorn at Disney World.
I've never had it. I can't make a joke about that.
And now I think we should get to the biggest. What the fuck? What are you doing? This is the biggest mistake of your life decision. Samoa Joe has been released from WWE.
I'm done. I'm done. I quit wrestling. No more.
Jesus fucking Christ. Well, we'll wait till he gets back and finish the bit. Oh, man. Yeah, nope. No. I was hoping to have a conversation about Samoa Joe. But it seems the bit's more important. Seems the bit's more important. That son of a bit. Oh, God damn it.
Sorry, I've just been informed by the Modular Media upper brass that I have to finish this episode or I don't get my paycheck this month.
Yeah. So, the Joe of Samoa This is what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Like Samoa Joe is a once in a generation talent, and he has busted his ass for this company front to back. Literally, he busted his ass. And while
He's
he was
also
injured,
busted asses.
yeah, while he was injured, he's been on commentary on Raw, on and off, doing an amazing job. He did commentary for WrestleMania. He was one of the guys stalling during WrestleMania. He stood out in a thunderstorm wearing a poncho, standing next to Michael Cole, literally one of the most irritating human beings on the face of the planet, mind you, stalling, covering this company's ass. And what do they do 3 days later? They fire his ass.
God damn. One of the first things you posted in the wrestling board on my Discord server of him just quoting this like adding CM Punk. Boy, you were right. Something along that lines. I can't remember the exact quote. I can't
Well,
pull up
first
Discord.
CM Punk posted the gif of the black guy rubbing his dirty shoes on the white couch and adding him, and then Samoa Joe said they never should have given me money.
Oof. Samoa Joe is a legend. He will go down as a legend. He is one of the best to have ever stepped in that ring.
I mean, for as silly and as overwrought as it got, I like his WWE title feud with AJ Styles. That's a seminal me getting into current wrestling feud.
It's also like he was able to. He's probably one of the best shit to chicken salad people on the roster. Was on the
Mm-hmm.
roster. He was able to take anything they gave him and add at least a level of legitimacy there.
For those just joining us, because we do have a few live viewers at the moment, actually, we're talking about the round of WWE releases that happened today. And we've just finished running down all the names. To recap it real quick, it is Samoa Joe, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, aka the Iconics, Mickey James, Kalisto, Bo Dallas, Wesley Blake of the Forgotten Sons, Chelsea Green, and Tucker of Heavy Machinery. All gone from the company, all given 90-day no compete clauses. They will be able to work for other companies and do other things come July 14th of this year, which just so happens to be a Wednesday night. And yeah, I'm going to keep that bringing it up because, as I said on Twitter, because as I was talking about earlier, I did watch a bit of WrestleMania this year, and for what it was, I did enjoy it. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to start watching WWE again. I was just like, you know what? That wasn't terrible. Good on you, WWE.
There was an attempt.
And then, what's this, like 4 or 5 days later? All the goodwill from a non-hardcore WWE fan immediately crushed. I'm driven back to, nah, fuck WWE, AEW, and a few other indies for life.
Yeah. BTE. Be elite. Be the elite. Man, like it's not even the firing. I understand like letting people go. AEW let someone go this week.
Yeah,
Let's talk about it.
and
Let's talk about it
okay,
right now.
yeah. In the interest of fairness, let's talk about the Evil East thing.
AEW released Evilise.
Mhm.
She didn't. She seemed to have been doing the bare minimum for the company.
Apparently, she was taken off of TV because, and I don't remember if we noticed this at the time or not, but
I,
she stopped selling for Thunder Rosa during a TV match.
I think.
She then had a
I think
go
we did
ahead.
notice. I think we did.
Mm.
I
She
forget.
then had a couple dark matches, and then just disappeared for like 2 months before they fired her. Apparently, she was suspended, and her side of the story, no one in AEW has commented aside to say that she's released. But her side of the story is that she was speaking out about somebody abusing their power in regards to the women's division.
Right. But we also need to look at the common denominator. She's been saying she's been like, there's been assholes everywhere she goes, and she's been let go everywhere. If you see assholes everywhere, maybe the one that you need to be looking for is in the mirror.
Yeah.
Especially considering the no selling of the Thunder Rosa match, and apparently she was in the heel side of the crowd when they were doing wrestle crowds.
Yeah.
Where she would just be on her phone, not paying attention, not doing her job of acting as an audience surrogate, paying attention to the match.
And like apparently similar stuff went down at Lucha Underground between her and similar people. Now, all that being said, if God forbid in a couple months there's an AEW speaking out moment again, I will go ahead and say, shit, Ivelisse was right. I feel really bad, but right now it does look like she might be in the wrong.
I mean, who has that much power to abuse the women's division that was related in some way to her?
Like the only name she mentioned was Thunder Rosa. She said Thunder Rosa was being manipulative and trying to get herself a push. And she kept saying a manager was also being manipulative towards her and her tag partner.
But here's the thing: Diamante's still there, and no one in AEW has said a bad thing about her.
Yeah, and Diamante ain't said shit about this. I feel like if my friend was trying to go to bat for me, I'd be like, yeah, she's telling the truth, regardless of what kind of situation I'm in.
Yeah, this feels like Low-Ki being fired from a wrestling promotion. This feels like Austin Aries being fired from a wrestling promotion of like, y'all a bunch of assholes, fuck you. But you were being the asshole. Yeah, and you were being assholes to me being an asshole, so you're assholes. Fuck you.
Maybe it's almost an Enzo Amore moment.
Here's the thing. I think Enzo Amore is just kind of a little bit of a dumbass.
Yeah.
I don't think he's an asshole. I think he's just a dumbass.
And here's the difference. Him and Kaz have worked on themselves like motherfuckers since they got released by WWE.
Yeah, see, here, I would not be upset if they ever showed up in AEW. I'd be going like, I would like to see what happens, but I wouldn't be upset.
No.
But like, I don't know. I'm not saddened by Ivelisse disappearing.
I mean, she barely caught my interest. I was always more interested in Diamante. That being said, I hope that if, like we said, because this is all alleged, if it does come out that she was the asshole, I hope she takes the opportunity to work on herself and come back harder, faster, better, stronger, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Considering that this has been the story for like 3 other promotions already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There may be a little bit of what's the thing? Lost cause fallacy.
That's fair.
It's the thing where you're so bought into an idea that if you give it up, you feel like you will lose more than hanging on.
That's true. But also I want to end this on a little bit of an optimistic note, which is that my boys, Matt Cardona and Cody Rhodes, during this whole thing that was going on today, they were right there just being like, hey, everybody, just hang in there. Look at what happened for Cody. Look at what happened for Matt. The last year has been a blessing in disguise for Matt. He's more successful than ever not being in WWE. All these people, if they want to, because Bo Dallas was getting ready to retire, and if he still wants to retire, good for him. But if they want to, they can also make the most out of this opportunity. And I really hope some of these people do. I really hope this leads to a renaissance for Samoa Joe, the Iconics, Mickey James, Chelsea Green, and Tucker. Those are the people that I'm really pulling for to come out of this. Not to say that I'm not for the other people, but those are the people that I'm specifically a fan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like Chelsea Green, yo, you okay, bro?
I'm being called.
Okay. Let's hold for a minute, guys. Ah, man. No, it just sucks. This whole thing sucks.
He prefers scratching at the door to barking.
Well, at least it's not Barks.
Yeah.
That's better than nothing. Chelsea Green's.
No, not on the jacket. You can't sleep on the jacket. You have a bed. No.
Let the dog.
He's a good boy, but he likes sleeping on my clothes too much, and I don't like dog hair on my body.
Then wash your clothes.
I do far too much.
No, Chelsea Green's gonna be fine because she has Matt Cardona, and he's a good business person. He'll guide her in the right directions.
Mm-hmm.
He can point out good things and all that kind of stuff. But like, dude, I just want to see Samoa Joe in AEW now. Lance Archer, Chris Jericho, MJF. The promos back and forth.
I mean, I talked about one of my favorite Samoa Joe feuds, and I would love to see AEW and specifically Cody Rhodes' take on that feud.
That'd be interesting. Mm-hmm. Kenny Omega.
Ooh. Ooh. Has that match happened on the Indies?
I have no idea, but imagine the anime finisher off.
Dude.
Kenny Omega with the One Wing Angel. Samoa Joe with the Kaneko Buster.
I mean...
Because that's from an anime, bruh.
AEW is severely lacking in Samoans.
I wonder if that's ever been a problem. Samoa Joe's problem. Because he's not
Samoan,
part of the
but he's not from that family.
He's not part of that family.
Probably.
Like, an odd form of subconscious nepotism.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where all these people end up, regardless of what company it is. And I'm looking forward to the shoot interviews that we're going to get in a few months.
Chris Jericho has podcasts.
Chris Jericho, Renee Young, Chris Van Vliet. I want them on all three of those things.
But they're going to have podcasts for months.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But nonetheless, why don't you tell me about Impact? Because I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I actually watched a full Impact show this week, everybody.
Was it impactful?
It was pretty impactful.
Or was it Helvetica?
Okay. So Impact had their annual Mania weekend show of Hardcore Justice, which did take place in the Impact Zone with no fans. But it was still pretty neat. We got some good matches. Specifically, I liked the Myers and Cardona gimmick matches that happened, where Cardona had a mystery crate match against someone. I watched this stuff the other day. I can't remember.
A loot crate match?
Yeah, literally, like, there's loot crates on each ring post, and they each have, like, a different wacky weapon in them. Like, one was a picture frame, one was a mouse trap, stuff like that.
You know what they should use for a weapon one time? A toy wrestling ring.
Hell yeah.
Because it's just a flat object. You can get some cool sounds out of that, but, like, it'd be funny.
And then Myers had a blindfold match against another guy, where, of course, the finish, because he's a heel right now, is him distracting the ref and then pulling up his blindfold to do his finisher. But then also on the Impact before Hardcore Justice, Myers came out and attacked Cardona at the end of a match he was having and accepted a challenge he had previously made. I didn't see the actual segment where that challenge was made, but he accepted a challenge he had made for Rebellion. So we are getting that tag team implosion match at Rebellion, and I'm very excited for that, honestly.
Name a better duo. Other companies paying off WWE storylines.
um, and then Kenny Omega has just been having a bunch of like mixed, crazy 6-man tag things with Rich Swann and other guys who are baby faces in Impact, going like, "You and the Good Brothers aren't gonna ruin our good name, you lousy Japanese guys who aren't Japanese." And
Fuck you, AEW. You ain't Impact.
mhm.
You ain't
the
our
matches
dad.
the matches always end in Kenny pinning somebody who is not Rich Swann after almost pinning Rich Swann. So it's clearly like, yeah, we're building towards the inevitable, which I'm excited for. I'll be watching that whole show probably, especially with the announcement that came out just before we went on air. Mauro Ranallo is going to be calling that match.
That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be fun.
I'm so excited. I've missed Mauro so much.
But I'm glad he stepped away for his own mental health and everything.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dude deserves a break if he needs it. But like Mauro Ranallo, until Excalibur came around was like the guy that I was going, that's going to be the voice of our generation.
Oh no, and it's Excalibur now though.
Mhm.
Imagine the booth was Excalibur and Ranello.
Oh, dude, pitch for AEW's commentary table in 5 years. Excalibur,
Mm-hmm.
Mauro Ranallo, Chris Jericho.
Ooh, I can see that.
Like Chris Jericho retires and does commentary full time.
I that's definitely a route I can see Chris Jericho taking.
Mm-hmm.
If he stays in wrestling and just doesn't do other projects like he's been doing.
Because Jericho's the character guy who's always being like, haha, go heels. And freaking Mauro's the technical guy, and Excalibur is the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
It's I want it so bad now that I've said it out loud. And then one other little note from Hardcore Justice is that the new version of Decay, which is just Decay with a big old bull man instead of the zombie man they used to have, they're gaining a real foothold. They've been getting a lot of wins, and Rosemary is now the #1 contender to the Knockout Championship, and I believe that would be a record-setting win if she does actually win it.
That'd be cool.
So that's going to be a match at Rebellion. Is her versus? Oh God, I remember her gimmick is that she's the virtuosa. I feel like an idiot for forgetting her name. Let me live Googling, ladies and gentlemen.
Live Googling. It's the best kind of Googling. Except Googling. Or Boogling.
Deonna Purrazzo. She's currently the Knockout Women's Champion.
Miss Piranha.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Impact's pretty solid right now, and like this is definitely the month to keep your eye on them, considering what is definitely going to happen.
Yeah. But next we have a new bit of content from AEW. They have a new show idea called Outside.
This is technically the second episode because the first episode was Reynolds and Silver a few weeks ago.
Okay. Well, we didn't talk about it, so we're talking about it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's an kayfabe interview segment.
I think so. Yeah.
Because Lexi Nair interviewed Abaddon.
Real quick, do you know who Lexi Nair is?
No.
DDP's daughter. She is one of the Diamond Daughters.
Okay. Give WCW family fucking jobs, I guess.
Yeah.
That's AEW's modus operandi.
And she was briefly an interviewer in WWE too, I believe. But she's doing this now, and it's really fun because she's meant to be like that kind of just bland and nice Hollywood Reporter E-News type interviewer. But she's getting paired with like the wackiest, weirdest wrestlers they have. Like I said, the first episode was Reynolds and Silver, and she asked all the same questions she did in this interview, but they just gave like these weird, like I don't know, random thing answers. and it was really funny. And then this week, she interviewed your waifu, Abaddon, and the whole time Abaddon's just like almost going to eat her and then stopping until eventually somebody hands her a whiteboard and she just starts writing no to all the answers. Except for when Lexi Nair asks, "Do you have any pets?" and she just writes, "Spider." It's great. It was a good little like 5 minute laugh thing.
Yeah. It's a fun comedy skit that's not BTE or Sammy Guevara related.
Yeah.
Next week, because they announced, they showed a thing that they were going to do next week. I think it was a tag team.
Uno and Grayson.
I hope they go full supervillain and style of talking, but it's all like, we're going to help so many puppies.
That'd be great. But then we had BTE, and it was an interesting BTE this week because it was like a good mix of the wacky kind of fun stuff and then some really heavy bits. The opening pre intro teaser thing was just Matt Jackson and Brandon Cutler doing some light skating around Daly's place.
I do enjoy their grip tapes. I did enjoy those.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, did you watch this week?
I watched that segment and the next one.
Because
I think I had to stop and do something else.
Dang it. Then Matt Hardy cut a promo on Darby Allin basically saying like, hey, you get compared to me and my brother a whole lot, but I've got 28 years of experience on you. And that's a lot of know-how that's going to allow me to get one over on you, kid, kind of an interview. And it was a solid little promo. Then we had a Dark Order segment where they're all hanging around talking about how John's arm is coming along. And then Stu notices this week, not Anna Jay, not Tay Conte, but Chris Statlander is hanging out in the Dark Order lair. And of course, everybody acts like it's just perfectly normal. Like, yeah, that's just, she's always there. She just hangs out. And he's like, no, this is ridiculous. What are you guys talking about? Oh, and Uno was like, all right, you clearly got some issues here. I know somebody who can help with this. Let's go. And that leads into a thing later.
There's a gremlin on the wing.
Yeah. Then we got some BTS for the inner circle arrival bit where they arrived in all those vehicles from the beginning of last week's Dynamite. It's cool seeing them figure out the coordination on all that. Then we got a clergy bit where they're having a slow day at the booth. Nothing's really happening. So Ryzen's just like, oh hey, here's some candy I nicked off of insert wrestler here. I'm gonna eat a little bit of it. And they're like, what is that? It's Blue Chews. Never heard of these before, but they're really good. Can we have some? No, I'm just gonna. Oh, he selfishly shoves them all in his face. And then Vicky Guerrero's like, wait, that's a sponsor on my podcast. Maybe you shouldn't have done that. And he's like, nah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Cut to later in the day when they're getting ready to go. And he realizes he can't get up. He's getting caught on the table. So he tells the two ladies to go ahead without him. And, well, y'all can guess what happened.
Yeah.
It's the same thing I didn't mention about that Dark Order bit in regards to Allen Angels.
Yeah.
Then we got the follow-up to that Dark Order bit where Stu Grayson and Evil Uno go to therapy, and their therapist is Alex Upper Hentez. And it's a really fun play on his Penta Says gimmick where they keep saying something into his ear and then he'll translate it. But the way he translates Stu's stuff is like, oh, Stu's very nice. He's very fun. He just wants to have a conversation with you, man. He loves you. He respects you. And the way he translates everything Uno says to Stu is like, Uno fucking hates you. He wants to kick your ass. He wants to fight you. And And Stu just keeps getting more and more mad and hyped up until they stand up to fight. And Uno's like, "This is great. I'm glad we're going to be able to resolve some of your issues, man." He goes to shake his hand. He's like, "Yeah." He squares up and he's like, and Uno's like, "Oh, I see, I see. Don't worry, Doc. I got an easy fix for this. Stu, huh? Go beat up Butcher and Blade." And he just runs off.
Goddamn.
Uh, it was a good bit. But then we got a kingly couple bits because we got a recap of all the history between Kenny and the Bucks from BTE over the years, juxtaposed with them hemming and hawing during the main event of Dynamite, and then actually seeing that play out on BTE. Oh, it's so nice that they actually own this footage now, so they can just show it instead of having to like show weird behind the scenes angles like they did in Ring of Honor. Um, and then we cut to backstage later in the night. All three of the guys sitting lined up at a table. Kenny in the center, messing with something. Very, very reminiscent of a classic BTE bit. And he basically lays it out for the guys. He says, "I'm so glad you guys are with me now. I'm so glad I have guys who understand, who see all this, see that we're the guys who changed the world. You know, we did everything. We fought against and for each other in order to change this industry. And then after we did that, we stepped back for a few months. We let other people have the spotlight. And what did we get in return? What did I get in return? Oh, nothing but you've lost your touch, man. You don't have it anymore. Oh, I hate you. I want you dead. I want your family dead. I want your company out of business." No, that's not going to happen because we have a responsibility to toe the line, to show this industry what it means to be the best, to be elite. And now that we're together again, we're going to show everyone exactly what that means. It was a fucking, like, that's me boiling it down. It was like an 8-minute promo, completely unscripted, of Kenny just going off. Like, anyone who says Kenny Omega isn't a good promo needs to go watch this clip, because this promo had me on the edge of my seat, just drinking in all the character work, all the little bits of context that have been implied but not directly given to us in Dynamite over the last few months. And just, oh, this is so good. This promo could have ended an episode of Dynamite, but instead it ended an episode of BTE, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Kenny Omega's not a bad promo. Kenny Omega is an animated promo. And some people believe that a man showing intense emotion is weird.
And these people are wrestling fans?
Yeah. But I think it's time to speak of the boom, the bust, the dino, the might. Are we going to have to play a little game?
Probably. Actually, you know what? You take the lead.
All right.
I've talked a lot on this episode.
Yeah. Well, that happens when you actually watch shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing we need to talk about, before the intro even starts, before any of that starts, the Bucks plant their flag in the world of wrestling of basically saying, "Yo, you know what? Y'all were right. They were right. We had lost our touch. So fuck you. We're
You want to heal Young Bucks? You got them.
You want us to be assholes? We'll be assholes." Don Callis helped us realize that. And it's just like, damn. But there was one line in specific that made me go like, oh shit, is holding these and pointing to the belt around backstage, you started to feel a little fraudulent.
They had imposter syndrome.
They had imposter syndrome, the same thing Hangman Page felt. But while
Mm-hmm.
Hangman turned it inward, they're turning it outward and taking it out on the world.
Yeah. No, fuck you. We do deserve this.
While also just burning every bridge around them until the only bridge left is the one that they didn't even think about burning. Because
The fans.
the fans, but Hangman.
Mm-hmm.
But, take the next one, buddy.
Yeah, we then after the intro go to a outside Daly's Place promo where I believe it was just a straight up it was just going to be a straight up promo. There was no interviewer, but Mike Tyson is outside Daly's Place and he's like, "Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. You remember me from boxing, right?" I'm like, "I know of you from boxing, Mike. Good to see you,
I
though."
also know you solve mysteries on the side.
That's true. He did do that. Um, and then MJF just immediately walks in and goes, "Hey, Mr. Tyson, I've literally never heard of you, but my dad says you are a legend. And also apparently you throw really good punches. Confrontation scares me. So here's a nice check. Why don't you not hurt my friends and let them win this match against Jericho tonight? Why don't you play ball, buddy?" And Tyson being Tyson, because as we established during his last AEW appearance, his character is that he wants everybody to always play fair. You're
Consummate
cool.
sportsman.
You are always cool with Tyson until the moment he sees you cheating. Then you're the scum of the earth.
Yep.
So he takes this check, tears it up twice, and then starts eating it.
And spits it in MJF's face. It's great. MJF reacted perfectly to this whole thing. It also kept the idea that Mike Tyson's a little bit of an unstable athletic genius.
Yeah.
Because that was always the thing with Mike Tyson as a boxer. Because he was one of the best boxers of his time.
Well, I've actually listened to interviews with him now. And he's like a poor kid who was plucked from the streets, trained like crazy, became a champion at a super young age, and just all he knows is the life of being famous and being crazy training athlete man.
Yeah. And pigeons. He does love his pigeons.
He does, doesn't he?
But like he because he did go off the rails a little bit in his later early boxing career, where he did bite off a dude's ear.
Yeah. He did also say, "I'll have sexual relations to you until you love me, gay man." That's a real thing he said during a drug-addled rant in front of the press once.
Yeah, but it plays into the Mike Tyson's a little bit crazy thing, but it keeps it like interesting for this whole shindig of this show. But next we have a 5-star classic.
The new best non-gimmick match on Dynamite, I'm gonna say.
Death Triangle. This version being Rey Fenix and Pac versus the Young Bucks with Don Callis in their corner.
Oh my dude, the fucking precision on this new entrance for the Young Bucks, where the camera you hear the song go up and it's the Young Bucks' theme. Naturally, you're getting a little hype. The camera starts to go over to the face tunnel and then just whoop, heel tunnel. No, and then they start.
There was a detail before that even started, because the Young Buck skull appeared, and normally it has a golden shiny background because money and everything like that. No, this time in military black and white text, like a certain T-shirt that they were really famous for selling a good couple of years ago, scrolling Young Bucks. Bullet Club style.
And also, just as they start coming out of that tunnel in like this ridiculously prickish white playing into the Kenny Omega and Angel Wings gimmick gear with Don Callis right behind him, the instant wall of boos was so amazing.
Oh yeah, very much so. Even like their their ring gear now also, it's just no tassels. It's a lot more straightforward, but it's also it's textured in a way that just make you feel like, ew, you're a weird rich person.
And like they were wearing stupidly expensive Jordans in the ring too, which at one point people started chanting, "Those are fakes."
I have no idea if they are or not. I would hope they wouldn't waste that much money on shoes that could get damaged.
Yeah.
But genuine.
No, the actual match too. Holy shit.
But they didn't do their face Bucks money. They came in to the ring,
Yeah.
did their pose, and they got streamers like New Japan.
Remember, we're from Japan. Remember what I was just talking about with Impact and Rich Swann?
Yep. Mm-hmm. But this was just so good. Nick and Ray having their like rivalry, it's just scrumptious.
Going fucking insane, and like Pac trying every trick in his book, have just being the world's angriest short person, while the Bucks are healing it up to the max, taking all of their face tendencies and just pushing it up to 11 as a way of mocking the fans for ever liking it.
This is the Bucks that everybody who hates the Bucks thinks the Bucks are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but there was one beautiful moment, like right at the beginning of the match, where Matt was going to tag in Nick, and he goes to the face corner, and he's looking for a tag, and Ray Phoenix is just looking at him, going like, "The fuck you doing, you son of a bitch?" God damn, that was just a great little.
The fact that they flipped so well, like this whole match to me was just the Bucks saying like, "Hey, you know these supposed heels? Those aren't heels. Those are baby faces. We'll show you what the fuck heels are, you idiots."
And like even like I know it's planted crowd. They're cheering for a reason. I think it's actually fucking brilliant that they did the Bucks match without a live crowd. It was a controlled crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Because you wouldn't be positive of how many people would actually still want to cheer the Bucks. But if you knew, all right, everybody, boo the Bucks, they're gonna get boos. It's gonna make people think, oh yeah, no, the Bucks need to be booed. And they could play into the heel and know that no one would go like, yeah, fuck yeah, Bucks. Brilliant move.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very much creating the narrative they want, not the fans want, in terms of like booking. It is kind of a WWE move of like, we're telling the story no matter what you believe, but I still think it is like a good way to seed that heel persona for the Bucks.
Yeah. I don't. There's just not much to say except this was an excellent match that perfectly got across their new characters, which is just their old characters from PWG.
Yeah, I do really also the Nick and Ray stereo hurricanranas.
Oh yeah,
where they just like they have the other opponent and they just go like grab the shoulders and they peek out, go like, oh shit, all right, hurricanranas.
And that triple jump thing off the ropes that Ray Phoenix did, holy shit.
This is genuinely a great match. Also, biggest fucking heel move to win it, they just completely snatch Ray Phoenix's mask off his head. He is full on, nope, luchador, dude, protect the face, and they go like,
I was not expecting it at all. So here is exactly what I did when it happened. I'm not hyperbolizing there. I literally did that.
because it wasn't just like, oh, kind of a little off, a little like, or a tear. It was full. Whoop.
I did that because I was like, shit, did I just see Ray Phoenix's face? I don't want to see Ray Phoenix's face.
No, but like he covered it just in time, and the Bucks went like, he can't see us. Super kick.
Mm-hmm.
That's cheating as a heel brilliantly, because it's not just like, oh haha, we hit you with a chair. It's, oh haha, we are taking advantage of a thing that realistically doesn't have any rules, but it is cheating.
I mean, commentary said that if they were in Mexico, it would have been an instant disqualification, but this is AEW, and unfortunately, anything goes.
You know what I'd love to see? Ray and Penta maybe go like, you know what? Fuck it. We're using lucha rules for this match. And they have to go over the difference between American style professional. I just bumped my camera. American style professional wrestling and lucha libre rules. And be like, oh,
That,
that'd be an interesting gimmick.
that'd be pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But no, this was great. This is one of the best tag matches in a while.
It was so damn amazing. And like just they gave this away for free on TV. This wasn't a pay-per-view match.
Again, okay, so here's the question. Is this better than Bucks versus Omega Page? Where do you, because that's the peak of tag team in AEW
A
right
lot of
now.
people are going to say Omega Page just because of the crowd aspect, but honestly, I don't remember being as invested in Omega Page at the time as I was in this the other night.
Also, Don Callis just like perfectly
Hmm.
was on commentary. Just
Don Callis is a phenomenal commentator.
going like, I knew the Bucks. I would get to them. I knew that, like, all that kind of stuff. And just Excalibur going like, yeah, you made them sold out. You made my friends assholes. Fuck you.
Hmm.
This is great.
But after the match, we go backstage where Alex Marvez is in the Dark Order lair talking to Hangman and the rest of the Dark Order. And he basically goes, yo, Hangman, all your friends are dicks now. How do you feel about that? And Hangman goes, well, first things first, John's recovery is going incredibly well. Look at how amazing he is. Johnny Hungy, it's an awesome gimmick. I'm just gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back. And then the Dark Order start going, do your exercises, John. Yeah, woo.
Also, I love the bit where Hangman like slaps John Silver's good shoulder and goes like, "Ow! I thought it was the other shoulder." Yeah, but you still just hurt me.
That was great too. But no, but like that shit hit super hard. Like it's such a simple, quick little segment, but it instantly gets you back in that punished Hangman mood.
Oh, very much
Especially
so.
from especially for me because like we've talked about it on and off mic, but a certain internet group that I'm a fan of, and this channel might have been partially inspired by, is going through some shit right now. And I had a personal conversation with one of them about it the other day, and big Hangman emotion, big Hangman emotion. And I feel for that guy right now. I won't say who it is out of respect for their privacy, but
Is it the person that also has a connection with me somehow?
no.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and move on.
All right. So next we have another promo segment with Alex Marvez, where he talks to the Inner Circle and Mike Tyson. Where basically Alex Marvez asks the question that we all been wondering: Hey, Jericho, why the fuck is Mike Tyson okay with you? And Jericho gives the best explanation. It's like, when we got beaten down by Pinnacle, we looked in the mirror and we realized how shitty we've been. So in our time off, I personally went through all the people we wronged and apologized. And the
He
first,
pulled a My Name Is Earl.
yeah, no, he had, that would have been a fun, but either way, he basically was like, And the first person I called was Mike Tyson, and I apologized for the actions I took against him. And he was like, you know what? It took. And Mike Tyson said, you know what? That took strength, that took resolve to do. I respect that. If you need my help, I'll be there. And Chris Jericho said, all right, we're going after Pinnacle this. We're going to be talking about this. Would you mind being...
Tucker, someone is sleeping downstairs. Don't be stomping on the floor. If you got an itch, come over here.
Basically said, can you be backstage, act as security while we're coming back? And Mike Tyson was like, yeah, I'll do it. And now we're here. Honestly, just real quick, as a pure moralistic story, this is fucking great.
It's really solid.
Because it shows that redemption isn't just, I'm a good guy now. It shows that that you need to take steps to be a better person. That you need to make those amends.
Yeah, and it was another great continuity matters in AEW moment.
Especially because Chris Jericho brought up WWE again. Of how 10 years ago Mike Tyson knocked Chris Jericho out.
Yeah. And he flat out said, after reconsideration, I probably deserved that.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying Face Inner Circle. It's low-key pretty
weirdly
fun.
wonderful.
Because it's also really wholesome in a strange way.
Yeah.
But Mike Tyson's also was told, do it down the middle. Don't favor us. Don't favor them. Just, you're there to keep an eye on things. And Mike Tyson was like, yes, that's exactly what I was going to do. But since you purposely wanted it that way, I respect you for that.
Mm-hmm. So after that, we go to the long-awaited Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill. This was an AEW-style squash match, which kind of disappointed me.
Yeah, but also it works on one level because Jade Cargill is becoming a big... She's gaining momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And Red Velvet's also gaining momentum, so it's kind of a heartbreaking thing to see Red Velvet beaten like this.
Yeah.
To an extent. But, Jade looked great, though.
Yeah, they both looked great. Like, this is the first time I really got into Red Velvet's entrance. I really liked Jade's entrance, too, but, like, that is... Like, it took me a while to get into "stir it up" as a hype phrase, but I'm behind that theme song now.
I don't think I've ever listened to Red Velvet's theme before. It banged a little. It had some bang moments.
Plus, I love that her entrance gear, instead of a big jacket, she has an apron on. It's great.
It's also just like, it's okay. For some reason, when I was watching it, I just went like, that looks like a weird religious tabard.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was like it's definitely not a kimono. The kind of it might not even be Japanese, but the Asian dress with Chinese, the long front trailing.
Yeah.
Chinese
I know
dresses.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. It kind of looked like that for a second until she turned around and I saw the tie in the back and I was like, oh, it's an apron because straight out of your mama's kitchen. That's great.
Yeah, but no, this match was fine. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like the blow off to any kind of feud, but it does feel like the chapter break of the feud.
It's the second match in the trilogy.
We can definitely there's definitely something more there.
Mm-hmm. And we got a few new moves out of Jade because we commented back in the Shaq match that she was clearly still very green, so she had a very basic move set. Just so she could mainly focus on character work, which she also did here. A lot of great healing. But she now has a fall away slam and a face buster. She pinned Red after a face buster, which was pretty good.
No, and Jade's character work this whole match was great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But next, we have another promo segment. This was a good Dynamite for promos. With Dr. Britt Baker basically pointing out that, oh, hey, Red Velvet lost. That means she's going to go down in the rankings, and I'm going to shoot up, having done nothing. But you know what? I'm still going to wrestle some matches in order to boost my rankings to justify having to get a title opportunity. So you'll see me on Dark, Dark Elevation, and Dynamite. Keep an eye out.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It was like a bit of a turn and a bit of an iteration on Britt Baker's character where like, oh, I have to work to be a role model? Fine. I'm gonna outwork everyone. I didn't realize what I was saying until I almost said it.
She's gonna earn that doctorate.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that should be a thing. AEW doesn't have a writer's room, but if we did, they should hire us. That's a sentence. Oh my god.
Hire us for social media management so we can just pitch shit to you.
Hell yeah. But after that, we got the debut of the governor, Anthony Agogo, with the factory, and he was taking on Cole Carter, who I'd never heard of before, but I liked his tights.
Yeah. I also like the Go-Go's like very classic old school kind of look.
Yeah, and like the simplistic tights with nothing except a factory logo and an Olympics logo on them. And then his theme song is like the kind of background music you'd expect to hear in a Sherlock Holmes movie. It's ooh.
But I like that this match though was just good character.
This was a
good character.
Perfect debut squash match because he comes in, he does like a lockup with Carter and does a couple moves. All the while, the camera keeps cutting back to QT, just watching on like, yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, I'm a good teacher. Look at the guy I taught. And Anthony ends up winning via ref stoppage after he punches the guy in the gut and he can't get up.
Like, legitimately, I think this is the first TKO in AEW.
Mm-hmm. It's a couple firsts on this show. We'll talk about the other one later.
But this exemplifies a Go-Go's character. That he will wrestle, but the minute you piss him off, fuck it, I'm going back to boxing.
Like, I was iffy on Agogo listening to him on commentary for Dark the couple times I saw matches he did commentary for. But now that I've seen this debut, I'm like, okay, I'm here for Anthony Agogo. Let's have Anthony Agogo.
Agogo to the moon.
Yeah, Agogo to the moon and beat Darby Allin for the TNT title.
Ooh. We're gonna have
just go on a massive winning streak and have him Goldberg his way into that shit.
We're gonna have a conversation, especially with the next segment. But also, I just really enjoy the factory. I like the way they look. I think QT Marshall being very low key in the way he was dressed, fucking fit, was great. But the next segment, we have Miro being the Miro everybody's been wanting for months.
Miro is here. Miro has arrived. Miro's getting his Kenny Omega moment.
Because Miro basically goes like, "Hey Kip, where have you been? I've been trying to call you, but you've been avoiding me. No matter. I'm just gonna beat ass everywhere. Darby, Bucks, Kenny. Keep an eye out. Miro needs to win the TNT title."
Ooh. I could see it.
Because that's always been the Darby story of like, oh, he gets beat halfway to hell and will come out on top. Imagine he just gets beat all the way to hell. Who better to do it than the best man?
I mean, I could see either timeline playing out.
Very much so.
But then we got the big match that was advertised all week and for most of the show, Dax Harwood with Cash Wheeler versus Demo God, Chris Jericho with Sammy Guevara, and special guest enforcer Iron Mike Tyson.
This was
why the fuck, if he asked Tyson to call it right down the middle, did Jericho immediately go for a steel chair?
I think because it's just old habits die hard, and the second Mike Tyson grabbed it, he was like, "Shit, what was I doing? Fuck." Right, you're Mike. You're right, Mike. I'm sorry. And he did the rest of the match clean.
That's probably what it was supposed to be. It just did not come across that way.
Yeah,
Like I saw him grab the chair and I was like,
it that.
"What the fuck are you doing?" And then Tyson takes the chair and he runs off camera.
Like I'm definitely giving it that benefit of the doubt. So, but it was also meant to show Mike Tyson is calling it down the middle. He's not favoring the inner circle at all.
Mm-hmm. Especially because Harwood then goes for the bat and Tyson gets it away from him.
It's meant to showcase Mike Tyson is an honorable person.
Mm-hmm.
Less than Jericho is a dick. You know?
Yeah.
Economics of storytelling. Hey!
Mm-hmm.
But, boy. This was a good story match.
Very good, very solid, very yes indeed. Especially with all the pinnacle fuckery.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know where to go.
Well, I was thinking you were going to explain the rest of the match, kind of highlights of it.
Basically, it's just a series of Jericho chasing Harwood in and out of the ring. A lot of good callback spots, a lot of classic Jericho stuff. There's a moment where he grabs the camera and starts to flip Harwood off, and Harwood flips him off back, which was great.
Oh, that's good.
That's now Dax Harwood's Twitter avatar, by the way.
My heart. That's fucking great.
There's a big segment where the Pinnacle comes out to try and chase off Tyson and get Harwood the win, and then Inner Circle come out, and it turns into a big old brawl, and eventually everybody gets chased off except for the guys who were originally in the match. There's a spot where Harwood gets hit right where his stitches are, and so he goes over to Doc Samson in order to steal something from Doc Samson and hit Jericho with it.
A mic.
Yeah.
And then Jericho takes a pin and just stab.
Yeah. And then the ending of the match is Jericho gets a couple moves in, and he's going to pin Harwood, and then Wheeler tries to get in the ring. And before Tyson can even get to him, Sammy Guevara just pounces on Wheeler and beats the shit out of him, which is hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Especially because, hey, continuity. On Sammy Guevara's vlog that came out on Tuesday, there was a segment of Mike Tyson teaching him how to punch.
Nice. But speaking of Mike Tyson punches.
Yeah, Jericho ends up beating Harwood with a Judas effect, and then Harwood tries to get some shit in after the match and just immediately gets clocked in the face by Tyson.
Damn, that was just a full-on, like...
Oh, yeah, you know he was backstage like, I'm sure they told you to pull it, but shoot, punch me. I want to be able to tell my kids this story.
Because, like, there was a look on his face that was like, God damn, that was a little bit harder than I thought it would be. Because he wasn't selling it like a wrestle. He was selling it like... Because when you sell it like a wrestle, you wiggle a little bit to show that I'm fine enough to wiggle. I'm fine enough to wiggle. I'm safe. Don't worry about me. He was just like stock still. It's like, okay. Let me wake up. Man. But then, the fun little announcement at the end of this.
Jericho went and made Mike Tyson an auxiliary member of the Inner Circle, which was great.
Man.
Mike Tyson is the Sixth Ranger of the Inner Circle.
Mike Tyson's the Sixth Ranger of wrestling. Because remember, he was also in DX.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
No, this was a fun bit of wrestle to get us to Blood and Guts. Because they were hyping up Blood and Guts the entire match.
Yeah, and that fucking poster they put out, man.
Yeah. It's a reference to an old WCW poster.
So good.
because nothing more that Cody loves than his daddy stuff.
Mm-hmm. He's a good, dutiful son.
But I just realized something.
What?
The pinnacle is the attitude of the Four Horsemen, but we also have a spiritual successor to the style of the Four Horsemen with the super elite, higher fashion, expensive clothing. Also, there was Shawn Michael references all in this promo because Alex Marvez talks to the super elite, the Good Bros, the Buck Bros, and the Canadian Bros. And it's basically just a big promo of like, this is what you want, right? We're being heels, right? We're
Yeah.
winning, right? This is what you want. Why
You
are you
asked for this the entire 6 months of the company, the first 6 months of Dynamite. Now shut up and enjoy it.
why are you booing us?
Mm-hmm.
I also love the Good Brothers just being dumbasses in the background. Look at the danglies. Just messing with the earrings.
Yeah.
This was a fun promo.
What did they say? They were like, "Oh, um what a pros or something like that to say promo."
Yeah. But like they were just going like, oh, best promo in the biz, best promo in the biz.
Mm-hmm.
When Don Callis took the mic. Is this is just getting over their dickhead personalities more.
Yeah, and it was great. Then we got a video package from Thunder Rosa in a bit of a new style, new gear, new face paint. Basically saying like, "Hey everybody, I had to go home for a little bit, but I'm back now, and guess what? I want your belt, I want my belt back, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of whoever I have to in order to get them."
Hell yeah. Let the thunder roam.
Mm.
It's gonna be good. But next we had a banger of a little match.
The way your face lit up.
Bro!
It's your waifu.
And my husbandos.
Yeah.
Because Chris Statlander, with her best friends, come out versus Amber Nova in an AEW style squash match.
Mm-hmm.
Where basically it's an all but guarantee Chris Statlander's gonna win, but they're gonna give something to the competitor to make sure they don't look like a chump.
Yeah. Especially because this was her first AEW match.
Dynamite.
And
She's had Dark.
oh, okay. I thought
She had a tag match on Dark.
Somebody had a making their AEW, not making their Dynamite debut thing this week. It might have been Cole Carter then that I'm thinking of.
I think so. Because I noticed on the little lower third when they said like, "Oh, here's some of the dark results." Amber Nova was one of the people in the tag match.
Okay.
Yeah. But this was a good, fun back and forth. Chris
Yeah.
Statlander obviously looks stronger, and because she's a more mainstream talent, she wins with I can't remember what the move exactly was, but it's
A Nova bomb.
yeah, it's a bomb. It was good. Also, I just love the way she was like looking back to the best friends. So like, am I being human right? Am I doing things good? And there's like, yeah, you're doing good. You're doing great.
So I have a nitpick and just like a weird thing to talk about with this match. And I'll do my nitpick first because I think it's kind of a funny nitpick that only I would have. I hate the entrance. I hate that they gave her this entrance music. I get that she's in the Best Friends now, but that's not the Best Friends theme. That's Orange Cassidy's new theme. And unless you're going to do the straight up romance on screen on Dynamite, don't give her his theme. She has her own theme. If you want to give her the group theme, have Best Friends play as she comes out.
I think what they're doing right now is just playing this music to associate it all with Orange Cassidy and the group to A, start getting their money's worth, but B, just like give that association so eventually we can go back to the regular music. It's to cement the music of, it's to cement that music as this is a part of the show now to the audience.
Probably, but you know me, I'm super OCD and obsessed with entrance music, so. It's just something that would only bother me. And then the other thing is, I'm sure you noticed it on commentary. Jericho kept, or not Jericho, JR kept trying to compliment Statlander, and he kept going like, "Oh, I gotta word this carefully. I'm just trying to say she looks nice. There's nothing wrong with being fat, but she's clearly slimmed up a bit, and I like her new look. Please, nobody cancel me." And it's like, all right, first of all, JR, calm down. Being canceled isn't a thing. Second of all, everybody leave JR to fuck alone so we don't get a moment like this again.
Yeah, he was trying. I understood what he was going for.
Mm-hmm. I did agree though that I do like her new slightly older look. Like that was the big thing I noticed about her. She's got way less of a baby face now.
She's trimmed up. She looks fit. She looks strong. She looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to see more of her.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to point out this whole Dynamite had 4 major women's division segments.
Hmm.
It's really just picking up. They got a good division going now.
Yeah. It's almost like good things come to those who wait.
Next, we have a little interview with Team Taz, where basically Taz goes like, "All right, Ricky, you're
Dude.
kind of a hothead right now. Can you stay back while I talk to Christian? Brian Cage, you too. It's just gonna be me, Hobbs, and Hook. You know, the sexy boys. We're gonna talk to Christian. We're gonna get this whole thing done and dealt with. We're gonna do this. All right, all right, good."
Was this not supposed to be my segment?
You talked about Chris Statlander, didn't you?
I thought you introduced that.
No. Did we? You
Oh
did.
dear.
You did Jericho match. I did Super Elite. You did Thunder Rosa. I definitely did Statlander. I thought you did Statlander. Felt like no. It felt like you did Statlander instead because you started talking about it. No,
I had extra things to talk about after you were done.
I have no idea. Just fucking say whatever. Say whatever it is that you need to say.
I was just like, are we throwing the format out for a second there? I wasn't actually mad. I was just confused.
Say what the things you need to say.
So yeah, we get that Team Taz promo, and then we go to the ring where Tony Schiavone is standing by, and Christian Cage comes out, and the whole night they've been building it up like, oh, Christian Cage has got his gear on, he's going to do an open challenge, isn't this great? And I was like, oh, that'd be interesting. I'd love to see some random cool guy from Dark show up for a minute. And then like they talked about the Taz promo incoming, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what's happening. And then that's what happens. Cage comes out, and then immediately Team Taz comes out, and Taz is like, yo, I know I said sleep on it, but like, it's been a week. I need an answer. Give me an answer. And Christian's like, I didn't want to do this in the ring, but not only no, but fuck no. Your team's a hot mess. I don't want anything to do with that. I'm here to win championships. Thank you very much. And Taz just goes off. He's like, I never liked you. I never liked your friend. Look, I have so much money. If I stood on my wallet, I'd be so much taller than you. Screw you. My boy is going to kill you now.
There was a great joke by Christian though of like, Taz, I'm glad you're standing on those 3 steps so I can look you eye to eye.
Yeah, which is what led to the wallet comments.
Yeah.
And then we got a match. The bell never rang, but it's kind of set up like a AEW style squash match where Powerhouse Hobbs just gets in the ring and fucks up Christian Cage.
Yeah. This is going to be a fun little feud of Team Taz versus Cage.
Yeah.
But we have some announcements for next week. We have Tay versus Shida for the title. Hoo boy.
Are they gonna just have title matches open every show for a little bit? That would be insane.
I don't know if it's gonna open. I'd like it to be the main event. If like, we're gonna get an official Hobbs versus Cage match. We're also gonna get Starks versus Hangman and Trent versus Penta.
Ooh,
It's gonna be good.
yes.
But Tay versus, like, out of those matches, Tay versus Shida as the main event,
Mhm.
I would not mind. I would
You
not
know,
mind.
as much as I love Sheeta, I would not mind a title change
No,
because you could protect Sheeta and keep the big Britt Baker versus Sheeta match off for a little longer. Maybe save it for All Out, and then have and I'm not trying to throw mess at Tay here, but have Tay be a transitional champion to Britt for a little bit, and then maybe have Hikaru disappear for TV for a little while, and then come back super swole and be like, I'm taking back my belt.
that could very much be interesting. I also throwing in Thunder Rosa and instead of having Shida, which those matches Shida, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa have been done, but changing Shida for Tay Conte would be a fun little mix up to that whole triple feud.
Yeah, hell yeah. Have
Uh,
we had a triple threat for the women's title yet?
no, I don't think we've had a triple threat for any title yet.
Well, that's a thing that I was made very accustomed to loving back when I watched NXT. So wouldn't be opposed to them doing that here.
Yep, yep. But that's a lot. That's a lot for next week. It's gonna be interesting.
Mhm. Then we got the main event of Big Money Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Um, this was pretty good. However, it never got as insane as I thought it was going to. It had a
No,
cool ending, but it didn't quite live up to the hype that you get from seeing the words Matt Hardy and Falls Count Anywhere next to each other.
I I understand that, but also like it's not billed as a hardcore match.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because that's kind of I feel the difference. This is just false count anywhere
Yeah.
because like
Um,
if you're gonna divide it like that's a regular match, false count anywhere, no DQ, death match, barbed wire death match,
yeah.
and somewhere in there is unsanctioned.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad match. There was some solid stuff. I thought it really got going, though, as soon as we got the interference from the Hardy family office, which led to Sting and the Dark Order coming out, which then led to Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page coming out, and Lance Archer coming out, and Sting being just like, yo, Darby, here, literal torch pass. I'm going to go fight those guys backstage.
That was great. That was great. But also Darby lost the bet, kind of like showing like just because he's the next step doesn't mean he's completely ready for it yet.
Yeah.
Like that's beautiful metaphor.
Mhm.
Um. Also, I really enjoy. This is probably the first time we've had Sting on a Dynamite in a non-interrupted interview segment.
That's true. Excuse me, it's late.
It is late. I'm
um,
sorry. We got started late because I was dealing with a few IRL things.
Perfectly understandable, man.
But
But the match does end with Darby getting Matt up on the AEW commentary table, climbing up the truss, and then doing a coffin drop onto Matt, breaking the table. The first time I checked, the first time the commentary table has been broken in this company.
beautiful. And to give it to Darby is to give it to Darby, the next generation, like the next big thing in AEW, and Matt Hardy, a hardcore legend to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily hardcore as like, oh, thumbtacks and beating people over the head with chairs, but more in like that they did hardcore shit.
Pushing your body and pushing the medium to more extreme places than people have gone before. Because
Right.
got to remember, Matt Hardy's one of the guys who pioneered ladder matches, and he's one of the guys who invented the TLC match.
Man, all six of those guys. Two of them are in AEW right now.
Mm-hmm. But like that spot was sold so well because it's like a beautiful, clean break with a little bit of the outside plastic stuff getting up in Matt's face. And then the commentary team, JR is straight up like, nah, I'm getting out of here. I've seen this too much. And then
I've seen Matt
um,
Hardy on the table. I know what's going to happen here.
Shivani is standing there trying to watch it with Excalibur, but I think they must have landed on a cable or something because his mic stopped working and Excalibur had to close the show out by himself.
It's fucking great. But also, I love the camera work because the cameras just focus on Matt Hardy, and everybody's going like, "Where the fuck did Darby go?" And then someone goes like, "Oh my god, Darby, no!" And the camera just yoop, up the truss, and you just see him climbing like it's fucking Jackass.
He straight up looked like he was on the jungle gym.
God damn. Oh, the mad lad. The mad lad went mad.
And one great thing that also came out of this, besides Darby retaining and getting that Matt Hardy rub, did you see what Sammy Guevara tweeted about the match?
No.
Ooh, that looked nasty. Good luck healing up. I hope to see you around, Turtle Man. And he posted the picture of the I Like Turtles kid.
Excellent. Excellent.
They're setting up a Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin feud. Let's go!
Excellent. Babyface versus babyface feud is going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, AEW Dynamite was a bomb like always.
Yeah. It definitely opened stronger than it finished, I thought.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty solid.
It opened really strong. It had not like a dip was and you're like, oh, it became shit. But it went from A to B. It went back up to A with the Jericho thing, back down to B for the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm. And then like up to a B plus with that ending.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's fine. Not every show has to be an A plus all the way through.
No. And no, sometimes it's preferred because he's just like, you don't want your heart beating out of your chest.
Definitely.
But this was that week in wrestling. What the fuck am I doing? I'm taking your podcast thing apparently.
Yeah. What the hell, man? You're infringing on my gimmick.
So how did you like this week in wrestling?
I thought it was pretty all right. I generally had a good week up until the last few hours.
Yeah, but for every dark cloud, there is a silver lining. That being, they may get to do some dope shit in July.
And I mean, unlike the last round, there's probably actually going to be an independent scene come July.
And very much so. Very much so. But that was MMWP for this week. So, Vac, tell the people where they can find you.
All right, everybody. I am the Vacuuminator. I'm a YouTuber who has done many different things: vlogs, toy reviews, media analysis. I'm currently on hiatus from solo content, but if you want, you can check out my backlog at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. That's spelled TheVacuuminator. I also do a couple different shows on this channel. I'm currently the host of This Week in Toku, or TWIT, with myself and Miriam of Bustercore, a weekly show running down all the latest episodes and news from the world of live-action Japanese special effects shows. And I'm also on our comics and specifically Marvel-focused podcast, the No Prize Podcast, alongside that guy over there. And I'm on social media. You can find me on Twitter at the Vacuuminator and on Instagram at _Vacuuminator, where I post action figure photography every workday.
Nice. Hey, howdy, I'm Chris Boyle Radagast, and I make video essays and editorials on the YouTube. You can find my channel at Boingo Writer. I'm also on the social medias at Boingo Writer, at Boingo_Writer on Twitter and the Instagram. And as always, you can join my Discord server. A link to that is in the description. But that's it for tonight. As always, you can like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Follow us on follow us where you listen to your podcast and get it there. And join our subreddit where you can talk about individual episodes, individual videos that we make on our own personal channels, or just a variety of topics that we talk about on a normal basis. So go hang over to r/modular media to go get some upvotes.
Hells yeah.
But in the meantime, Vac, any final words?
You know what? It's normally said as kind of an ironic thing, but I genuinely wish everyone the best of luck on their future endeavors.
I just remembered they did that joke in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Schiavone said to Britt Baker, "Well, I wish you luck on your future endeavors."
Yep.
That was funny. Adam Cole did not get fired.
And you know what? Also, just to do the flip side of that, to quote us out on a really strong note, I'd like to read off a tweet from seminal wrestling accounts. If I can get to it, r/the_Iron Sheik or @the_Iron Sheik. Fuck the future endeavors.
Fuck the future endeavors.